Hello, Kaylene.
Hello, Eddie.
Thanks for having me. What do you do? Why am I here?
Good question. I do Australian-made knitwear and I collaborate with bands and artists on the design of them.
Okay.
So adapting their artwork or reimagining their album covers or video clips, things like that, into wearable,
It's wearable art.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
making sort of like punk, independent rock jumpers.
Sometimes it seems so clear. Then the logic disappears.
The seed was planted way back in high school, actually. I came across this photo of Jay Mascis in a book by Michael Azerrad, Our Band Could Be Your Life.
Right.
And I just couldn't get this photo of Jay Mascis wearing a deep wound sweater
Right.
out of my head. That was his first punk band in high school, and this sweater is great. It's hand knitted by his mother, and I just thought a punk knitted sweater by your mother, it's the most and least punk thing ever. I graduated from fashion and I was on this sort of very typical graduate fashion path, but it's a strange world, the fashion world, and I hated the idea of you have to operate within sort of their system. Do seasonal collections,
Right.
You're always chasing your tail. As soon as you release it, it's already out of fashion, and I hate the idea of creating something that's going to be old, out of fashion. So I figure if I do something that's not on trend and not fashionable, it can't be out of fashion.
Well, it's refreshingly unprofessional. It's very punk. Who's this one about?
So this is using some artwork that Rayan from the Hard-Ons
Right.
made.
So it's a hard-ons jumper. How did you meet Kaylene?
I've seen her at shows and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, as far as I know, she's from Wollongong.
So this is your jumper. This is an old. What, is this a record or this is an album cover from one of your?
That was for a handbill advertising a single
Yeah,
from
right.
1980.
What was the single?
It was called Just Being With You.
Do you remember drawing it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do remember it.
It's a sort of metal pterodactyl wearing armor and eating brains. It's pretty metal.
I don't know what the hell it is. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I work on my computer using Photoshop for a start. I scan the images in that I like, and then once I'm happy with the placement, it's kind of a case of building up the image pixel by pixel. It's really important to me because I'm working with artists and I want to as accurately represent their artwork in knitted form as possible.
Yeah.
And because there's so few pixels to work with, if you put one pixel sort of out of place, it can change the look of a facial expression so much.
And so every single pixel has been put in by hand.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You seem embarrassed.
I have a social life.
So Kaylene, this is the factory where the jumpers get made.
Sure is. So this is Scott, Eddie, Scott.
Hello, Scott.
How you going?
Scott is the mastermind who makes it all possible.
So how does it come to you? She makes it on Photoshop and then you receive the document and then what happens?
Pretty much Kaylene will make a sized email. So the JPEG actually comes through as a proper size.
Right.
And basically we put it through the CAD machine and off we go.
And so you just sit here sort of translating it pixel by pixel?
Not pixel by pixel, but I have to make sure that the colours are in line.
How long does that take?
For that one that you're wearing, it took a few hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get sort of like, are you like a Vietnam vet? Do you get sort of horrible, is this traumatic?
For that one, yes.
Okay, so this is the machine.
Awesome. Look at that.
Is it exciting to see the jumper coming out?
Oh, so exciting. Like, I've put in so much work to get to this point, and Scott puts in so much more, and to actually see the product coming out and have it look like how I imagined.
All your finicky pixels that Scott has been slaving over.
It's worth it, isn't it?
But yeah. And so what happens if the pixel is out? Like what will happen? Does the machine catch fire or?
Well, if the pixel's out, yeah, it would be wasted, that panel, which I hate wasting things, so I try and get it right, first go.
Is it good to see such a like a hardcore metal design on a jumper? Like on a cuddly woolen jumper?
Yes, because I think unexpected things are always really good.
Right. So are you noticing that like the hard-ons will sell to people in their 40s, whereas King Gizzard will sell to people in their 20s?
Yes, but people in their
That's interesting.
20s, they don't have a disposable
Right.
income as much. But
Maybe you should aim for that. Like maybe do some Eagles jumpers. Like who appeals to yuppies? Like Coldplay jumpers? Maybe you'd make more money. Like it's just a shame that you've picked good punk bands because people who
I know,
yeah.
I'm doing it with too much integrity possibly because I'm like, no, I'm only going to do it if I'm a true fan of the band.